درود هموطنان. My name is Shally Zomorodi. We have a few distinguished speakers here today. They are going to keep their speeches short. If you're listening to me, speakers, just a reminder, we're asking for 2 minutes. Please, a big round of applause for somebody who has been extremely vocal in the past few weeks and years, Nazanin Boniadi.
Salam! It is my huge honor to be with you today. This is a global moment. For those of us who've been fighting for many, many years, and I follow in some incredible footsteps of people who you'll hear from later, I just want to say how overwhelmingly incredible it is to see you out on force for the people of Iran. Just 2 months ago, I was sitting in San Diego at Comic-Con promoting the show that I'm currently on. And I dedicated my role on that show to the brave women of Iran who have been on the forefront of the fight for freedom and democracy for over 4 decades. And I had no idea in that moment that just 2 months later, I would be standing here with you all in this moment of the first female-led revolution of our time. And I want you to know that this, as most of you do already know, that this is not just about compulsory hijab. And this is a watershed moment that belongs to Narges Mohammadi and Nasrin Sotoudeh and Fatemeh Sepehri and Soheila Hijab and Monire and Yasaman and Sabah, and the list goes on of women who have sacrificed their freedom for this moment. Women who have sacrificed their lives, like Sahar Khudayari, for this moment. So we owe it to them to rise up, and I am so happy to see this global movement. And we cannot let it die out, because as I said, it's not just about compulsory hijab, it's about the fact that women don't have any laws in Iran to protect them from domestic violence. They can't dance in the street, they can't sing solo in the street, they can't ride a bicycle, they can't become president, they can't become judge, they can't become members of the Guardian Council, they can't become supreme leader, they have no control over their own destiny, and yet they are more educated than the men of Iran. And when they say woman, life, freedom, and the men join in and say woman, life, freedom, they respond to the men by wrapping their arms around the men and saying man, country, liberty. And it has become a back and forth, and men and women Iran are standing shoulder to shoulder, striking fear into the heart of the very regime that has built itself on segregating women and separating Iranian men and women. We will no longer stand for that. So what can we do? How can we turn our outrage into action? I want you all to call your representatives. I want you to demand that they create an international mechanism for accountability of human rights violations in Iran. Enough is enough. Stand with the people of Iran and not with the regime. Because what we're seeing right now is not the Islamic Republic of Iran, it's the Islamic Republic versus Iran. And the final thing I want to say, sign the petitions, keep hashtagging. Do you know why? Because united we are stronger. We get to 1 million number on a petition, people hear our voices more strongly and more forcefully. So please don't think that the hashtag Mahsa Amini isn't impacting. 150 million hashtags have made a difference. And I want you to continue. I love you and I love the people of Iran. I will stand by them forever.
Free Iran! Say her name! Masih Amini! Masih Amini! Masih Amini! My name is Lili Bosse, and I am the mayor of Beverly Hills, California. I am honored to be here. I may not be Iranian by blood, but my heart, my soul, the fiber of my being is a connection that I cannot put into words. What I can share with you is that I am a daughter of an Auschwitz survivor. So I know in my blood what it feels like to have human rights taken away. And I will always stand up, stand strong, and never give up until Iran is free, until all human rights are free. We are here today for the mothers, the grandmothers, the generations before us, those who had no voice, but we are now the voice for the voiceless, and we are standing up, we are speaking out, and we are not afraid. And I am happy to see people across the world. And we need to see people across the world, every race, every religion, every culture, to rise together for human rights, for women's rights, to finally change humanity. I am proud to say that we have already illuminated our City Hall, Beverly Hills City Hall, with this. Justice for Masih Amini in front of City Hall, and it will stay there. It will stay in front of City Hall, and I implore every government, every elected official, every person across the United States, across the world, to do the same, to finally stand up united, and we can make that change, and we will not stop until we do. Freedom for Iran, regime change. And now I have the honor to introduce LA City Attorney, the Honorable Mike Feuer.
Thank you, Lili. Woman, freedom, life. Woman, life, freedom. Woman, life, freedom. Woman, life, freedom. Woman, life, freedom. Man, life, liberty. Man, life, liberty. We are standing together with one voice. Los Angeles has the most people of Iranian descent outside of Iran in the whole world. And today, we're all here. Today, Los Angeles, all of Los Angeles, is standing together with one voice. The courageous protesters in Iran have inspired all of us. And now it's our responsibility to inspire everyone here and around the world, because that change that we're talking about will only come when we speak with one loud voice. They may have a brutal morality police. They may be trying to suppress freedom of speech. They may be trying to murder people on the streets. But regimes that rely on brutality always fall in the face of human rights and justice. And that's why we're here today. We need to say her name, and then we need to act. And you have the commitment of all of us in leadership in the city of Los Angeles that we will stand together to act. say her name. Masih Amini. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now hearing from Sasha, representing students at UCLA. And all around the world. Sasha?
Masih Amini. Millions of hearts are broken to see your life end so senselessly. Before attending today's march, I asked my mom, should I put my hair up or should I keep it down? A simple question I'm sure all of us women ask ourselves. But Masih Amini, a 22-year-old Kurdish Iranian woman, only 3 years older than me, never had that simple choice. She visited Tehran for a vacation and was brutally murdered by the Iran's morality police for incorrectly wearing her headscarf. She wasn't even unveiled, but she was killed because a portion of her hair was exposed. I cannot even begin to imagine the pain of one day leaving your home with your brother and him having to return home to report your death at the hands of the government. From the moment I heard her story, I've cried. As a first-generation Iranian-American, I ask myself every day, why? Why do the people of my motherland have to endure so much daily horror and violence at the hands of their own government for such small and simple human rights? Today, I fight for my home. I fight for the preservation of my beautiful culture, rich history, remarkable architecture and poetry, delicious foods and beverages, and most importantly, the unity of all our people. As I speak before you all today, it is imperative for all of us, Iranians and non-Iranians, to unite and demand that human rights must be granted to all people, regardless of race, ethnicity, religion, age, gender identity, economic status, sexual orientation, and disability. It is our responsibility to protect one another's human rights. It is the duty of those with freedom to fight for the freedom of others and uplift the silenced voices of all our brothers and sisters. We are all world citizens, and we all belong to the same green earth. Today, we fight for the freedom of those who have lost theirs. Today, we honor the bravery and sheer resilience of the women of Iran. Today, we mourn the countless senseless deaths of the young protesters who have lost their lives. Today, we remember Masih and all the Masihs of the world. Today, we are all unified in solidarity for justice and liberty for all.
A big round of applause for this new generation. Thank you, Sasha. Our next guest really doesn't need an introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Ebi.
سلام به هموطنان عزیزم. چه جمع زیبا و پرشکوهی است که من فکر میکنم همیشه در همچین بزنگاهی این جمع و این خروش و جوش باید باشه. 43 ساله که مملکت من، مردمان مملکت ما در زیر پای این رژیم سفاک له میشه، شخصیتش له میشه، روحیش له میشه، رویاهاش له میشه، آیندهش له میشه، تا جایی که بتونن جسمش رو هم له میکنن. ما با این همبستگی ها و با این پیوستگی ها میتونیم نقطه کمکی باشیم به کسانی که جوانانی که در ایران بدون هیچی دست خالی جلوی گلوله این، ببخشید این کلمه رو میگم، جلوی گلوله این نامردان میستن. براشون باید ما میبایست پشتیبان اونا باشیم در هر لحظه، در هر جایی که میتونیم و هر آنچه از دستمون برمیاد براشون انجام بدیم. این فعلا تنها کمکی است که ما میتونیم بکنیم و نباید ازش چشم پوشی بکنیم. زن که امروز پرچم آزادی رو به دست گرفته یک هورای زیبا برای زنان کشور رو و مردانی که پشتیبان این زنها هستند. بنابراین زن، زندگی، آزادی. زن، آزادی. زن، 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 زندگی، آزادی. زن، زندگی، آزادی. زن، زندگی، آزادی. زن، زندگی، آزادی. زن، زندگی، آزادی.
It's a big round of applause for Emmy. We have quite a few people here to speak, so we're just going to push this along so we have time for all of them. This next guest, she doesn't need another introduction. One of my favorite people, Khanume Homa Sarshar.
In the name of Iran, in the name of Iranian people, and in the name of freedom. Today we are witnessing a most unique kind of revolution. A revolution led by fearless women inside Iran, demanding their basic rights, supported by the proud and enlightened men of the same nation marching by their side. Today, in more than 150 cities around the world, Iranians are giving voice to the voiceless inside Iran, cut off from all means of communication with the outside world. Those voiceless writers, artists, and minorities of all kinds, whether sexual, tribal, regional, religious, or intellectuals, who have been ruthlessly persecuted, murdered, jailed, tortured by this deplorable and oppressive regime for over 40 years, simply for having different beliefs, for expressing their different views, or just for being different in any way. We, the Iranian-Americans, stand together here to plead United States of America and its freedom-lover citizens, as well as people of the world and leaders of all nations, for their support. We are here to ask President Biden and his administration, President Biden and his administration, not to negotiate with this regime. They are neither your ally nor your friends. The people of Iran are. Mr. President, look at them and the struggle for freedom. You need to take stronger stand and more action. Human rights must be your priority. Sanctions are necessary but not enough. Mr. President, don't feed this killer anymore. Vice President Kamala Harris, you are a woman and you are a minority. Where are you when your sisters, where are you when your sisters in another country are fighting for their human rights violations so fiercely? Where are you? California Governor Newsom, you have the largest and most successful Iranian population in the United States of America. You must for sure be our greatest ally. Why have you not yet seen or heard from you? Why have we not seen or heard from you? We are here today to voice our disappointment at the United Nations, an institution that has not only failed to bar entry to a known murderer named Ebrahim Raisi, presently hiding under the title of President of the Islamic Republic, but one that further given him a global podium by inviting him to speak before the United Nations General Assembly. Shame on you, United Nations. Shame on you. But, okay. But, thank you, Mayor Garcetti and LA City Council. You have always been with us all the way. Thank you, the Beverly Hills City Council, West Hollywood City Council. Thank you, Hollywood. Your support means a lot to us. Thank you. Thank you, Ellen DeGeneres, for giving your Instagram page to our Nazanin Noor to send messages to your million followers. We are here today to stand united in echoing the voice of all courageous and tireless Iranians inside and outside Iran, whose only wish is the downfall of the Islamic Republic regime and establishment of the democracy, freedom, justice, and equal rights for all citizens of Iran, with a national constitution founded on the mandates of Universal Declaration of Human Rights. As they said out loud in Iran, regime change is not our goal. The regime change is our goal, Regime change is our goal, nothing less than that. اینها همه بهانه است، خود نظام نشانه است. اینها همه بهانه است. What do we want? Freedom. When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? Believe me, that day is not far. It's here. Iran stands strong and tall. We all stand for you and with you and by you. Women, life, freedom. Freedom. Please join me to say her name, Mahsa Amini. Mahsa Amini. And now it is my greatest pleasure, my greatest honor to introduce to you the daughter of Iran, Googoosh.
کسی از راه دور همسنگرت نیست، ولی میتونه دلسوز تو باشه. ما اینجایم تا بگیم هستیم هنوزم. ما اینجایم که بگیم هستیم کنارت تا اون روزی که ایرانت رهاشه. تسلیت میگم به تمام خانواده هایی که در این 2 هفته اخیر عزیزی را از دست دادن، از مهسا امینی، حدیث نجفی تا سیاوش محمودی. میخوام اینجا در کنار شما به بچه های ایران، به نسلی که شهامتش ایران رو نجات میده که دنیا بالاخره صدای فریاد و اعتراض شما رو شنید. بدونید که در این حرکت تاریخی تنها نیستید. ما میبالیم به وجود تک تک شما و به وسعت همین همبستگی سوگند. ایران به دست بچه های خودش آزاد میشه. زن، زندگی، آزادی. زن، زندگی، آزادی. زن، زندگی، آزادی.
Thank you to Googoosh. At this time, you know, I have always leaned into music to heal one's soul and sometimes to speak when words fail. You've heard that, right? Can we please welcome the L.A Daf Ensemble? For the L.A Daf Ensemble. Thank you, ladies. Thank you. We have so many people lined up to speak. I would love to listen to your music. All of us would all day. At this time, it is with my great pleasure to welcome Faramarz Aslani.
درود به شما خانم ها آقایان. درود به دلیران ایران، درود به بانوان دلیر ایران و مردان سلحشور ایران که در خیابانها نفس ظلم رو گرفتند. بیان که از سوی گروه و یا سازمانی گفتگو کنم، میخواستم از سوی یک انسانی که در چنین دوره از زمان زندگی میکند، از شما دوستان، همکاران و هماندیشان بخواهم که با پشتیبانی از مردم ایران به آنها که اینک روزهاست در خیابانها نفرت خود را از جمهوری اسلامی با فریاد و پاره کردن پسترهای خامنه‌ای و رئیسی نشان داده اند، به آنها قوت قلب بدهیم. بدانیم که سکوت در برابر حکومتی خشن، جابر و فریبکار پر نیروتر کردن آنان است. نگذاریم تا چند روز گذشت این همبستگی از میان برود. نگذاریم پشت مردم ایران خالی شود و کف خیابانها به جای رد پای هزاران مردم بیگناهی که از کردار این رژیم به تنگ آمده اند با خون آنان نقش بگیرد. بیاییم اینک که در سرزمین های غرب می توانیم آزادانه گفتگو کنیم، آوای زنان و مردان دلیر ایران باشیم. بیایید آغازی باشیم برای پایانی دلخواه. زن، زندگی، آزادی. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here. Without speaking on behalf of any particular group or institution, I wanted, as a human being who lives in this era, invite my friends and colleagues and the people of the West to support the people of Iran who have filled the streets of their towns since Mahsa Amini, an innocent girl of 22, was brutally murdered because of her inadequate hijab. Iranians, young and old, have been screaming their hatred of the regime for days by filling the streets and tearing up posters of Khamenei and Raisi and other culprits. Please remember that keeping silent about the activities and the atrocities and crimes of a brutal and unjust regime will make it stronger. Let us not let these voices die out in a few days. Let us not let the streets be marked with the blood of anti-government thousands. Let us be the voice of men and women inside Iran, the courageous men and women of Iran. Now that we live outside and can freely voice their demands, let us not be silent. Let the world hear the cry of the just against the unjust. Let us be a fresh beginning for a desired end. Zan, zendegi, azadi. Woman, life, freedom. I would also like to thank all the people who helped us here, especially the police of Los Angeles, who have conducted this wonderfully. Thank you so much, and thank all of you who are here today. با سپاس فراوان بدرود به امید پیروزی. زن زندگی آزادی.
Faramarz Aslani. Our next guest is here all the way from the other side of the United States, and you know very well she has not been silent. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with my great honor to welcome Masih Alinejad.
عاشقتونم، عاشق ایران. ما همه مهسا هستیم، بجنگ تا بجنگیم. زن، زندگی، آزادی. ما همه پویا هستیم، بجنگ تا بجنگیم. ما همه پشمان هستیم، بجنگ تا بجنگیم. سلام، سلام به ایران، سلام به مردم زخمی ایران. ما همه زخم خورده یک حکومتیم، ولی داغی که بر دل حکومت گذاشتیم خامنه ای رو 15 روز خفه کرده. به خاطر بیاریم وقتی دختران خیابان انقلاب، وقتی صبا کردافشاری، وقتی یاسمن آریانی، وقت زن ایرانی پرچم حجاب اجباری را بر سکو بالا برد، خامنه ای ترس خورده و لرزیده در تلویزیون گفت دخترانی که پول گرفتند، دخترانی که حقیر هستند. من از شما میپرسم حقیر کیه؟ خامنه ای. حقیر کیه؟ حقیر کیه؟ حقیر کیه؟ حقیر کیه؟ توپ تانک پش بشه و گم میشه به دست ما زنان ایرانی. چقدر به ما زخم زدن، چقدر گفتن حجاب اولویت ما نیست، چقدر گفتن مشکل ما یک تکه پارچه نیست. اما تکه پارچه اگر در دست طالب و آخوند باشد تناب دار ماست و ما ترسمان را به خشم، خشممان را به آتش بدل کردیم تا بنیان اسلام سیاسی را به آتش بکشیم. چقدر به ما گفتن جمهوری اسلامی انقلابش را به جهان صادر می کند. ما زنان ایرانی انقلابمان را به خاورمیانه صادر می کنیم. نه روسری، نه توسری، رهبر منم، رهبر تویی، فریاد کن آزادی. نه روسری، رهبر منم، رهبر تویی. هر زن ایرانی که بر سکو میره و بنیان دیکتاتوری مذهبی رو به آتش میکشه رهبر ماست. به یاد مادر پویا بختیاری که در زندانه، به یاد مادر مهسا، به یاد تمام مادران دادخواه، مرگ بر دیکتاتور. زن زندگی آزادی.
Masih Alinejad. At this time, can we please welcome Shahin Najafi?
نوکرم. If you want to know about freedom in a country, go and ask the women of the country. لحظه های تاریخی به ثمر نشستن مبارزات 4 دهه از زنان و مردان و فرزندان ایران زمین. امروز اون درختی که در انتظار به بار نشستنش بودیم به بار نشسته. و چه زیبا که اسم رمز ما نام یک زن از زنان ایران است، با نام فرزند کردستان ایران ژینا مهسا امینی. ژینا گیان تو نامری ناوتت بقی رمز. ژینا جان تو نمردی و نمیمیری، نام تو اسم رمز فرزندان ایران است. نپرسید کی انقلاب میشه، نپرسید کی رژیم سقوط میکنه. الان رژیم سقوط کرده، ما وسط انقلابیم. در کنار هم برای بازپسگیری و بازسازی ایران، برای ساخت آینده، برای کارگران و دانش آموزان و دانشجویان، برای آب و خاک و هوای ایران، برای زندگی و زنده ماندن ایران. مرگ بر جمهوری اسلامی! مرگ بر جمهوری اسلامی! به نام ایران، برای آزادی ایران و ایرانیان، امید دارم هرچه زودتر این جمع جشن بزرگ انقلاب و شادی رو در خود تهران بگیره. مرسی.
At this time, please welcome Shifteh.
درود میفرستم به همه هممیهنان عزیزم. واقعا پیروزی نزدیک هستش و رمز پیروزی اتحاد، استمرار و این ادامه باید پیدا بکنه این همصدایی. دوستان عزیزم، به خاطر اینکه ما میخوایم شفاف سازی کنیم برای دولت مردان و دولت زنان خارجی و آمریکایی، من سخنرانیمو به زبان انگلیسی مطرح میکنم. To the President of the United States, to the Honorable Senate and the House of Representatives, and to the people of the world, on behalf of the freedom-loving people of Iran, I want to express our great appreciation for all the support and solidarity you have expressed in the last 2 weeks. I would like to emphasize that only some of the many hidden crimes and acts of inhumanity of this evil regime have become obvious to the world. The people of Iran are determined to end this religious dictatorship even at the risk of losing their own lives. So please pay attention to these facts. There are Islamic Republic regime lobbyists in Washington, and of course they support the regime. For decades, elected Washington officials have accommodated these lobbyists. Every time people in Iran went to the streets to show that they did not want this regime, the Western powers still ignored their cries for freedom, which have given legitimacy to the regime. The Western powers began negotiating with the lobbyists and even made nuclear agreements with them. The results have kept the regime in power and continued the suffering of the Iranian people who have sought democracy. Please do not let this occur again. It is time for this regime to be changed so Iranians can finally, after more than 40 years, decide their destiny through free and verified elections. Therefore, to the Honorable policymakers, I emphasize that with all the unrest and upheavals created by this evil regime in Iran and other parts of the world, it is so vital for the well-being of the entire world, for once and for all, to stand firmly by the people of Iran and not the regime. Long live freedom! Long live the Iranian-American solidarity!
Ladies and gentlemen, Shifteh.
Zan, zendegi, azadi.
At this time, we would like to welcome Hamid Talebzadeh.
درود به همگی. دست تک تکتون رو میبوسم که وطنتون رو فراموش نکردین. من فقط یه جمله میگم: آنان که در برابر ظلم سکوت میکنند، عاقبت روزی در زندان ظالم یکدیگر را ملاقات میکنند. اگه خاک من از دست بره جایی ندارم، دلم میمیره از غصه دیگه نایی ندارم. به جز نام تو ای امام وطن، ای موتن من، دگر بر روی لبهای خود آوایی ندارم. ایران نباشه گر که بیگانه بشه هموطن من. یه بار دیگه: ایران ایران، سرم روی تن من، نباشه گر که بیگانه بشه. به امید دیدار تک تک شما عزیزان در ایران آزاد. خیلی متشکرم.
بیتا جون. Oh, I see Saeed Mohammadi.
درود به شما، درود به مردمی که در روزی که باید سر جاشون باشن هستن. من برادرم رو جمهوری اسلامی کشته، خیلیاتون میدونید. برادر من ولی برادر شما هم بود، مثل مهسا، مثل اونایی دیگه. رفیق و منتور من فریدون فرخزاد به دست اینا به قتل رسید. دوست دارم امروز تو چشمای ابلیس جمهوری اسلامی نگاه کنیم و قوی محکم مشتمون رو بلند کنیم، بگیم: زن، زندگی، آزادی. زن، زندگی، آزادی. زن، زندگی، آزادی. ما دور نیست که تلیه پیروزی رو ما در آغوش بگیریم. دور نیست که خورشید برمیتابه میاد بالا، خورشید آزادی به ایران میاد. اصلا شکی نداشته باشیم. ولی مردم، تنها راهی که الان جلوی راه ماست، جلوی چشم ماست، همبستگی راه ماست، آزادی مقصد ماست. همبستگی یعنی چی؟ یعنی اینکه من همینجا امروز کسانی رو دیدم که تا دیروز برای جمهوری اسلامی پاره می‌کردن پیرانشونو، ولی امروز ولی من شما هستن. باید فراموش بکنیم که دیروز چه اتفاقی افتاد. باید همدیگر رو دوست داشته باشیم، باید به همدیگه عشق بورزیم، باید امروز به خاطر پیروزی بزرگ همدیگر رو در آغوش بگیریم، دست همدیگر رو بگیریم و با هم دستمون رو بلند کنیم. همبستگی راه ماست، پیروزی مقصد ماست. همبستگی راه ماست، آزادی مقصد ماست. همبستگی، آزادی، همبستگی، آزادی. دوستتون دارم.
Please welcome Siavash.
سلام بچه، این همبستگی باید به یه جایی برسه که CNN، فاکس، تمام مطبوعات آمریکا شما رو ببینن. اگر ما همبسته نباشیم اینا ما رو جدی نمیگیرن. تنها کاری که ما میتونیم بکنیم، هنرمندان من کوچیک، همین است: به تمام دوستاتون دفعه بعد که جمع میشید بیشتر و بیشتر، واقعا دارن خیانت میکنن، واقعا دارن میکشن بچهای ما رو. بچه‌ها که از ایران زنگ میزنن این واقعیت داره، نامردی میکنن. پس باید جوابشونو همبستگی ما بده و شوخی نمیکنم. 500,000 نفر ایرانی در لس آنجلس و کامیش هست. باید هر 500,000 نفر یه جا جمع بشن. یه دست بزنید برای اون روز و امیدوارم ببینمتون.
Thank you to Siavash. So at this time, over the past 2 weeks, we've seen women from all over the world join in solidarity by cutting, women and men, by cutting their hair. At this time, we have a few people here, ladies, who want to join us. And you...
درود بر شما. فرزان دلجو هستم. خدمتتون عرض کنم که بیگلات، آرگلات یه رنسانسی در کشور ما اتفاق افتاده که بی سابقه بوده. کسی جلوی رنسانسی که مهسا آغاز کرد و میلیون ها مهسا در سراسر جهان دنبال روی کردن، کسی جلوی این نمیتونه بیسته. در طول 2 هفته بیش از 1000 نفر از بچه‌های ما، خواهر برادرانمون، بچه‌هامون تو ایران کشته شدن. بیشترشون بوینگرد بودن. 16 ساله، 15 ساله، 17 ساله اینا بودن که وایسادن که از مملکتشون دفاع کنن. امروز وظیفه ما این هستش که به سهم خودمون، به هر کس میتونیم، به کاخ سفید، به کانگرسمن، نمیتونیم به همسایه‌مون وقتی که میریم شاپینگ، به تلره، وقتی تو اوبر میشینیم به راننده بگیم چه خبر در مملکت ما و هم صدای جهانی ایجاد کنیم که دنیا بدونه ما چی میخوایم و هدف مردم ایران چیه. من فرزان دلجو، عضو کوچک خانواده بزرگ ایرانی، من تو سینما ایران به موم معروف بودم. به خاطر ملت ایران این موی من بعد از 1 عمر که نزدم میزنم به خاطر شما، به خاطر بچه‌های ایران، به خاطر جوانای ایران. قربونتون برم. با امید آزادی.
We want to thank everyone for coming out today. We know it is hot outside. Before you leave, let's finish with our song.
شیران است بردش خیمان بر موکینت آغاز پایان است آغاز پایان است این آغاز پایان است پاک میهنم مهرت وطن شد پیشم دور از تو نیست اندیشم در راه تو کی ارزشی دارد این جان ما پاینده با خاک ایران ما در راه تو کی ارزشی دارد این جان ما پاینده با خاک ایران ما در و گوهر است خاک دشتت بهتر از سر است مهرت از دل کی برون کند بر بی مهر تو چون کند